Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and you're watching the Morning Forecast Show. Today we're talking about silver, gold, precious metals and mining companies. If you have just tuned in, please do hit the like button and subscribe. We will also be answering all your questions on XRP and the general market, the shutdown and the FOMC report tomorrow. So firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in on this very chilly morning. I know it's very chilly in many places in the US. It's even a little bit cold here in the UK with some storms brewing. So first of all, thank you everyone for tuning in. Please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe. It is tomorrow will be the last day of the 60% off. That will end at the end of the FOMC report. So today is basically your last day to get that. It's the first link in the description, is also pinned above. Silver breaking higher. I mean, the volatility on silver is something never seen before. And that's not a statement to take lightly. It is the truth. It is never happened before. But if I show you this chart over here, I mean, the swings we've seen on silver over the past 48 hours, less than 48 hours, are incredible. Up 14%, down 13%, up 11%. We need to understand we're talking about the second largest asset in the world. We're talking about silver right after gold. These swings are essentially swings that is XRP's market cap times 2 every single time we are swinging 14% up, 13% down, 11% up, which for some people makes them pretty bullish on XRP because this money is obviously out there and it's swinging silver, and this amount of money coming into XRP would take it to $5, $10. So it's, you can look at it both ways. It's massive swings, but also puts things in perspective of how little money is needed to move XRP. Or you can look at it as how much money is moving silver. So massive swings here. If you look at the chart all over here, it's we started off with the open on Sunday night and we went up 14% to the peak of yesterday. And then in 19 minutes, we were down about 14%. Massive swing. And then today, everyone has bought back in. Remember, we have been charting these levels for over a year. Our target was our main target $100, our secondary target $118. And you can see we went straight into our first resistance, $100, had a bit of a pullback. Then we went straight into our second level of resistance up here, where we pulled back directly into. Previously, it was resistance. Now it's support around $100, and now we're back into the level of resistance around 111. So these charts were charted a year ago, and you can see the price action is definitely respecting it. Someone saying my lips are out of sync. Let me check this. I think we're all good. Please do refresh the stream if you're having any issues. I think we are all good. David Hensley's here. He's driving right now. Can't talk. I'm heading to the Be Certified PRS. It's a week-long course. Wish me good luck, everybody. Can everyone wish David Hensley good luck in the chat? He is going for a week-long course. PRS. What's that again? PRS is required businesses in copyright music. Is it a music? What is the week-long course, David Hensley? I don't know what PRS is, but I definitely am wishing you good luck, and I hope everyone in the chat can start wishing David Hensley good luck. Human being Liz doesn't know what PRS is either. We wish you luck, but we don't know what it is. Someone let me know what it is. Everyone wish David Hensley good luck. He is such a great member of this community, always helping and supporting everyone and the channel. Good luck to David. So yeah, here's the chart of silver. Incredible, massive swings. We're back now up 7.5% today. Gold is also up 1.5% today, approaching all-time highs once again. I think we went to as high as $5,112. We're currently at $5,086. But yeah, incredible scenes in the precious metal market. What we're going to look at is miners in a second and see where the opportunity is and how much higher silver can go. It's a type of drug counseling. It's a type of drug counseling. Brilliant, David Hensley. Well, thank you for letting us know what it is. We wish you the best of luck. I still don't quite know what it is, but wish you the best of luck, David Hensley. Whatever it is, please feel free to explain further. So, will silver hit what by the end of January? This is on a poly market. Again, I don't condone gambling at all. It ruins everyone's lives or many people's lives. But what I use this website for is to track where the odds are. And here is where most people say it's obviously going to hit 110 because it already has. Some people are now saying it's going to hit $120. We haven't hit that yet. $150 looks like it's very unlikely by January the 31st. But if we switch to June the 30th, later on this year, there's a 23% chance silver goes to $200, a 50% chance we're above $150, 88% chance at $120. I think we're in a blow-off top parabolic move for silver. What does that mean? Well, it will go higher than anyone's price prediction, and then it will come crashing down until it finds a level of support. So in these blow-off tops, in these short squeeze eras, in the time of a parabolic run, most people get left behind. Most people sell too early, and then they FOMO back in. Just like with crypto, just like the dot-com bubble, just like 1987, I'm pretty sure that was the year of a massive crash as well. All of these blow-off tops, like the cryptocurrency run in 2021, it goes higher than you think. You FOMO in at the end because you think there's still time left, and then it comes crashing down. So in my opinion, just from market sentiment, just from previous bubbles, I would say, even though my targets on silver have pretty much been hit, the last one being, let me show you the last target I have on silver, being close to $120. I don't think I've got any higher targets, not really. I think, again, we bought at $20, $30. So taking profits here is certainly not a problem. But I think we'll probably go into a blow-off top scenario with silver where we blast past all imaginable targets, such as $120. I mean, people called me crazy last year for saying $120 is even possible. $100. I mean, people said, what is all these clickbait titles? Silver going to $100? Are you mad? Well, here we are. Silver's currently $111. But anyway, I think it will go higher. I think it will blow off top. I think people will FOMO in. I think there'll be a lot of emotion. I think it will get very volatile. Remember, I started predicting volatility around $100. I said, once we pass $100, be prepared for volatility you've never seen before. And over the last 2 days, what have we got? Volatility we've never seen before. 14%, 14% up, 14% down, at 12% up in the space of 48 hours on the second largest market cap crypto. Well, that's volatility you've never seen before, and that's what we predicted once we hit $100. But I think what we'll see is even more volatility. I think we'll see a short squeeze occur. Paper contracts don't mean anything now. People want to bring forward those contracts, take delivery of their silver, and we're talking about all these companies for solar panels, electric vehicles, futures contracts, all of this sort of stuff. They want to take delivery before potentially it gets higher, or they can't take delivery and they would have to shut down their production line. So they want to take delivery. They're bringing their orders forward. There's lots of contracts to be filled, especially in March. If you look at March contracts to be filled, it's millions and tens of millions of ounces of silver that need to be delivered. So there is still a lot of catalysts left for silver and a lot left for a short squeeze of silver. And I think that will take us to our peak and ultimately bring in the ultimate volatility where we might shoot to $150, maybe even beyond, for a few days or so. We will see one final parabolic run before we see a crash of a lifetime on silver. And then it will probably get bought back up and find a base probably closer to $80, or maybe depending on where it tops out, potentially a sort of a 50-60% crash on silver, and then it starts consolidating. So what do I think? Well, I think we will cool off maybe slightly between $100 and $120. Then we'll have our final blow off top close to maybe $150, even $170. Are we going to get to $200? What's the market saying? 23% chance by June the 30th. So still very possible to even get up to $200, but somewhere between $150 and $220, I imagine silver will top out and then come back down to maybe $80. So I think there is that final leg left in silver, that final blow off top left in silver. People still can't believe it. They look at the fundamentals, they look at what is reasonable, but remember, the market isn't reasonable. The market doesn't make sense. The market does have short squeezes, and these opportunities comes once in a lifetime. I mean, when was the last time you've ever seen silver do something like this? Well, you're probably looking back into the 1900s, where you start looking even further back. I'll show you the last time we've seen anything like this on the silver chart. Oh, let me stop drawing on the chart and show you. Let's go to the weekly time frame, and I'll show you the last time we've seen anything like this. 2011 was probably the last time we saw something like this, but mainly we'll be going back to 1978, where we went from about $4 an ounce all the way up to $37 an ounce. So yeah, this is probably right now even more of a move than more of an explosive move than back then. Obviously, a lot more money is needed to move it past the levels we're at right now. So essentially, once in a lifetime, the boat has probably been missed for most people. The ones that got invested and listened to the fundamentals and saw our videos from a year ago and did additional research, those people are winners. We are bringing out that playbook. Look, there's a bull market everywhere. Right now, the stock market has been losing against precious metals. Gold has been outperforming. Silver has been outperforming. The S&P 500 has been losing value, a lot of value against precious metals for the last 6 months. And that's something where we've been positioned, where I've been positioned, is been in the precious metal scene, plus crypto and XRP. XRP, we've managed to take good profits. However, that's been down, but our precious metals have been really making up for those losses. So there's always a bull market somewhere. Right now, that bull market is in the precious metal scene. We seem to be very good at identifying the bull markets, whether it was Tesla or individual stocks or crypto, when we identified the bull run of November of 2024, when we've really positioned ourselves in the altcoin market. And for the past year in the precious metal market. So I want to release that playbook. We are releasing that playbook. It's all coming to a newsletter this week. So if anyone hasn't taken advantage of the 60% offer, go and check it out, because we want to be catching winners like this again and again. Again, it's not financial advice, but we'll be doing the research to add to your own research so you can see, so you can identify these players as well. I'll put that link in the live chat and the first link in the description. Let me go over to the live chat in a second to answer all your questions as well. What's the market doing today? Yeah, it's down 0.31. Gold is up 1.58. Gold has been outperforming the S&P 500 for quite a while. Now, XRP down 1%. Again, we had that bounce that didn't really seem to mean much. Again, we do have lower targets on XRP. The first one being 184 once. Again, if we don't, it looks like we're going to go back to 184 next on XRP. We are looking at a shutdown in the next few days. 78% chance now of a shutdown on the 31st. So again, that's more volatility, more uncertainty, less data releases. The Fed's not going to be happy about that. And that's happening once again. If we go over to today's newsletter, let me tell you a few of the headlines. Shutdown risks. We've got deals being made out of the US. Remember, there was a sell the US trade going on that is back, and it looks like it's staying. There's trade deals being made with India, EU, UK is looking to make a trade deal with China. So new agreements / tariffs to counter volatility from US economic policies. Then we've got more tariffs from Trump. This is killing the whole globalization, everyone working together. It is a new world order now. People don't want to, well, the US doesn't want globalization. The US doesn't want to work with its counterparts. That's the sentiment. That's what these tariffs really mean. And other countries do. So it does look like people are moving away from the US and creating these agreements outside, whether it's the UK with China or the EU with India. And again, more reason for that. Trump is now threatening South Korea, turning their tariffs up to 25%. We'll be looking at South African's gold sector with a revival and the FOMC meeting tomorrow. and mine is poised for a valuation surge. So we'll be talking about, there is still, if you've missed the precious metals run, well, we're going to be releasing a research report this week as part of the portfolio challenge to see if there is continued value in the miners. Because remember, the miners, gold and silver, the risk to reward is probably not there anymore. Yes, we can have another parabolic run of 50% on silver, another 10% on gold, something like that. But what's actually very interesting is the miners. Gold can stay where it is or come down slightly, and silver can stay where it is or come down a fair amount, and still mean that miners are way more profitable now than they were 3 months ago in their analyst estimates, or 1 year ago with the analyst estimates. What we've got going on here is, because gold's price is so much higher and silver's price is so much higher, even if they come down a little, the profit margins for these miners are way more than they ever expected or analysts even imagined. So there does seem to be some value there in the miners because they generate profit from the precious metals. So you don't need to be invested in precious metals anymore. There is companies that will benefit from the higher gold and silver prices, for example. So that's a way we're viewing it. There's a slight deep dive on it today in the newsletter for all premium members. And then later on this week, we'll be releasing our research report with any contenders to be added to the portfolio, the £5,000 portfolio. If you have just tuned in, can everyone please make sure you hit the like button? Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get into some of the main stories and answer some of your questions. So if you have any questions, leave them in the live chat right now. I'll be coming to that in a second. A massive valuation gap has emerged between record high precious metal prices and the lagging price of companies mining them. While gold trades near $5,100, most analyst models remain anchored to 3,200 baseline, causing a significant undervaluation of mining equities. That's what we're talking about. So they are basing their profits off a 3,200 baseline. Analysts haven't really accounted for this yet, and all analyst estimates are from previous earnings. And they're basing it off a 3,200 pound gold. Now it's 5,100. Remember, also when you look at silver, silver's never been something mining companies go after. A mining company doesn't go, oh, this place has lots of silver, let's go mine it. That's not how it works. It's too cheap for them to go after silver. It's never been the case that mining companies go after silver. When they go mine for gold, for example, the byproduct is silver, and then if it's worth it, then they will extract the silver from the byproduct. Now it is very much worth it. Still not worth it to just go after silver, but now it's very much in their favor to start really extracting the silver from the byproduct of when they go and mine gold. And that's an additional major revenue stream for these miners. That was never really a thing. Silver was never a massively profitable venture for mining companies. It was some went specifically after the byproduct, and those companies that would buy the byproduct of gold mining companies and then extract the silver, and they had their business model around that. But now mining companies themselves, the big ones, will go after their own byproduct and extract it themselves. So that was a revenue stream that was never really that massive. And obviously the gold price is much higher now, so it makes it much more sense for these mining companies to invest more to mine gold. As long as it's much higher than 3,200, it's still a benefit. And right now we're at $5,000. So I don't imagine us breaking below 3,200 anytime soon. Yestin is in the chat. I know Yestin bought some silver probably 7-8 months ago, made some profit, and I saw on Discord yesterday that Yestin, am I right in saying you sold some of your silver for a profit now? I want to wish you I want to say congratulations to you, because that's an example of someone who sees opportunity, takes the opportunity, and when the profit is there, he takes it off the table, and that's a win for Yestin. He came in, bought physical silver, when he saw the opportunity, didn't hesitate, saw the value, and now he's sold it for a profit, holding a little bit of silver. I think I'm correct in saying that. Yestin, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say congratulations to you, Yestin. So yeah, we're talking about mining companies now, because mining companies might be where the value is more Now, again, we talked about silver. It can squeeze more. It can go all the way up to $150, maybe even $200. Most people think it can't. Yes, it certainly can. Markets can be irrational. It can certainly go to $150, certainly go to $200, and then we will have a correction not seen before. But mining companies can certainly benefit. Let's just see this. Oh, why can't I hear that?
6,489 tip 25 Emirati dirhams through Super Chat. I'm a subscriber to your newsletter. Where do I see your $5,000 portfolio?
Thank you very much for the super chat. You certainly didn't need to super chat to ask me a question, but I love it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Where do you see it? Well, on Thursday, the day after the FOMC, as soon as this promotion finishes on FOMC day, which is tomorrow, on Thursday, we'll be sending you out the playbook. The playbook consists of what I'm doing in the research, how I'm positioning it, what the challenge is all about, what we're looking at. So that will be on Thursday. So you'll get an email. Essentially, the big market updates, you'll get an email when we're looking at specific sectors and we do our whole research method and present it to you, look at the companies, compare the companies, come out with the winners, or maybe there aren't any winners and there's no investment. That will be sent to you as a main newsletter, so you'll get it in your inbox. Anyone who's got the newsletter, I need to stress to you guys, if you get the newsletter, go into your emails right now, make sure it's in your primary inbox, see if you can go find today's newsletter. It should be in your primary inbox. What's happened now is rarely, but sometimes it's in your spam. So if you can go into your spam folder and then move it to your primary inbox. But more the case now with all of this AI is a lot of mailboxes such as the Apple Mail or Google Mail or whatever mail has categorizations. There's primary, promotional, I don't know, newsletter. I don't know. There's different categories. What I want you to do is go find where that newsletter is, whether it's in your spam or in a wrong category, and then press move to primary inbox. That way you get all our newsletters, at least to your main inbox. So you will get it in your main inbox, Lone Wolf, and also if you join later, there will be a specific section on the website. So right now, if you go to sensei.news, you can see XRP Weekly. There will be a separate section for the challenge. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm not giving you alerts. I'm telling you about my research process, and I'm identifying companies that I'm investing in personally, and showing you that journal. So you'll see it on the website under a specific category of the challenge. You'll also see it in your mailbox, and also in the live chat, sometime the community page where we talk to each other on the app. So I suggest everyone has the Substack app as well. You can go into the chat. I'll be posting there when I've made an update to it as well. So there we go. Now we're looking at the miners. Let me go back to the miners and then I'll answer your questions. I hope that helps, Lone Wolf. Let me know if you have a follow-up question to that. So a massive valuation gap between record high precious metals and a lagging share price of companies mining them. So yeah, you'll get that newsletter on Thursday and on Friday. So Thursday is the day after FOMC when the promotion ends, and then we can start the challenge. On Friday, we'll probably release our research report on mining companies, which might be the execution of our first buy in the challenge. And then this weekend, you might be receiving the net worth tracker. And then in next weekend, you'll be receiving the chart analysis. So all of that's coming in the next couple of weeks. Might be a different order, but definitely on Thursday, we'll get the email for the portfolio challenge. While gold trades near 5,100, most analyst models remain anchored to 3,200. And this is the disconnect now in the mining industry, causing a significant undervaluation of mining equities. The disconnect creates explosive operating leverage because extraction costs remain relatively fixed while profit margins have essentially doubled. I want to do a test. If you're watching this later, so thank you everyone who's watching live, but if anyone's actually come into the stream later and watching it later, can you leave a comment in the comment section? We're running live right now. It's coming up to 1 p.m. in the UK. So we're live right now, but I want to see if anyone's clicked on this video after the live is finished and is watching right now. Let me know in the comment section below if you are watching this later as well. That'll be very interesting to see. Institutional investors are now positioning for a major re-rating cycle, and an upcoming earnings report force analysts to upwardly revise profit estimates. If gold maintains levels above 4,000, which I think it will, even if we do get a blow off top and a correction, These miners transition from speculative commodity plays into a free cash flow machine. They'll be profiting. Remember, this is the beauty of precious metals. You can make money with the precious metal itself, and that's what we've done for the last 12 months. Outperformed every S&P 500, every single stock, every single crypto, Bitcoin, S&P 500, Coca-Cola, whatever you want to say. We've outperformed it with precious metals. But the beauty of it is we can now recycle those profits into mining companies, which are actual companies generating profit, even more profit that analysts are not accounting for because the prices are so high. So if gold maintains levels above 4,000, these miners transition from speculative commodity plays into massive free cash flow machines. The upcoming February earnings season will likely serve as the primary catalyst for the market to price in this unprecedented margin expansion. This all is coming at a time where tomorrow I'm 99% confident the market's 97% priced in now that there'll be a hold. We've been saying this for the longest time. The market is now pricing in a hold as well. So we aren't expecting a rate cut tomorrow with the FOMC, but it's never been about the rate cut. It's all about what Jerome Powell says, especially after things are turning political and the investigation into Jerome Powell is now happening. So it looks like Trump is politicizing the Federal Reserve, which obviously brings uncertainty. And now we need to see what Jerome Powell says. Maybe he'll crash the markets tomorrow with uncertainty. If the market sees that the Fed has turned political, or if there is politics in taking away the independence of the Federal Reserve, that's when the market will react, and maybe we'll have a crash tomorrow if we get that wording from Jerome Powell. So we'll be covering that live on the show tomorrow. Let me go to live chat now and answer some questions, and then we'll come back for maybe a little bit more commentary on the mining companies. Let me see. Let's scroll back to the top, see who was here. Yolanda was here first. Thank you, Yolanda. Slim Will says, morning, Yolanda. Like button hit. Yolanda says, good morning, Slim. Dan Ackerman says, good morning, Sensei. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you very much. Human Being Liz says, good morning, everyone. Rhino Skin says, hi, everyone. Yolanda says, good day, Liz. Melvin is here saying good day. Human Being Liz say, thanks for the email sent, say good afternoon. Yes, we should say good afternoon, shouldn't we, Liz? We shouldn't say good morning. Yestin is here. Bitcoin's Craig says, good day, Trady Rose. Yestin, do you want to call into the show? Do you want to call into the show? Yes, then let me know. Human Being Liz says, hello. I hope you're all doing good despite these crazy markets. Ascend Improvements Hub says, good morning, everyone. Kellandros says, morning, peeps. Raccoon TV says, UNH is on sale. I believe that's a mining company, UNH. Oh, no, it's a healthcare. Oh, this is awful. Did anyone see my tweet yesterday on this? Let me go to my X and now know what we're talking about. We're talking about United Health. Look at this. So, it's crazy that these things are allowed to happen. Watch Trader Guru has reported this. Last month, Republican Kevin Hearn sold up to $500,000 worth of United Health just last month. Today, the Trump administration proposed a flat Medicare reimbursement rate for insurers, causing UNH to crash over 10%. Take away from that what you will. Take away from that what you will. I'm not going to say what I think it is. But there we go. Sold 500,000. Part of the team. Hearn is actually a member of the House Subcommittee on Health within the government. He sold 500,000, and then the announcement came out about the 10%. It came out about the reimbursement, and now UNH is down 15% free market, so even more than 10%. Awful. Do I know much about United Health Group? Not much. Is this a buying opportunity? Potentially. I think last time we charted it, we looked at it potentially at 284 and 188. So maybe we are at the first level to look into. But again, obviously the news has come out of a lot of money that needs to be spent on reimbursement. So I don't know too much about it. I might look into it a bit further. It's obviously better to buy on red days than green days, but take into account obviously what the news was to drop it down. Let me go to live chat. Human Being Liz says, hey Craig, Trade Ruse, nice. Singer Chef Kevin Leo says, good morning, y'all. That's a long name. Raccoons TV says, good morning. Marie says, morning. Shane Holder says, chilly morning. The Nutella says, it's a chilly morning here in the shed. I can tell you that. I don't think the heater was working. The Nutella says, the only I put money is on XRP and Coca-Cola. The only I put money, I don't know what you mean, the Nutella. The only I put is on XRP and Coca-Cola. Maurice Cox says, afternoon, sorry. No worries. In the UK, it's afternoon, but I pretend it's the morning. It's the morning of my day. This is when my day starts. My morning is newsletter research. From the second I wake up to the second I go live is newsletter research. So this is essentially my morning. The Nutella says, morning. Singing Chef Kevin says, enjoying the view in the Caribbean and the Sensei news. Oh, lovely. View in the Caribbean. I'm very jealous. The Nutella 101 says, from Puerto Rico, there's no snowstorm. There we go. Bitcoins Craig says, is it me or limps out of sync? I think it's you. Mark Zaxby's here. Afternoon, Sensei. Mark Zaxby, I saw you responded to my X post yesterday. Thank you for that. And thank you for being a member for 2 years. David Hensley says, what's up? Yolanda says, good morning, David. David Hensley, we're all wishing David Hensley good luck. Good morning, everyone. It's good on my feed. Human Being Liz says, hello. Don't know what PRS is. Yes, good luck, David. Good luck, David. Says Bella. Yolanda Dalish is saying, everyone at work is buying silver and gold at the moment. Interesting. Maybe they're a little bit too late. Maybe they haven't looked at the next trend, which is probably miners. As I said, people will come at the top of a bubble, people start buying. That's not to say it's a bad idea. I mean, we can get another 50% move on silver, and that's obviously an amazing gain. That's why I've still got a fair amount left. I mean, I don't really want to sell it unless I have to sell it, unless I see more opportunity. If silver hits $140, $150, I'm going to go down to I'm going to sell my gold and silver probably. Gold, I mean, is different. Gold is, you can hold it forever and leave it for a rainy day. Silver, however, I'm happy to get rid of that. And that was meant for gains. Anyway, my point is, it can go higher, it can go parabolic, it can short squeeze, it will probably go higher than most people think. But it will probably come crashing down at some point. And even when it crashes down, gold miners, silver miners, most probably will still be benefiting. Rhino Skin says, good luck, Dave. Singing Chef says, best of luck. Human Being says, good. That Sensei doesn't even know. Yeah, Liz, don't worry, we both don't know. David Hensley says, it's a type of drug counseling. Thank you, David Hensley. We wish you all the best of luck. Great, David, I translated it. Stephen Joseph says, good luck, buddy. MK says, what's your next price target for gold? 5,200 and 5,500. Again, there's no major targets level. All of our charting targets have they been hit? I think all of them have been hit. 5,000 was the last one, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah. You're going to have to look. Psychological levels such as 5,500, and then new charting targets might indicate 5,200. And then, yeah, I would say 5,200, 5,500. David Hensley says, CPRS, it stands for Certified Peer Recovery Service. It's a drug counseling certification. Certified Peer Recovery Service. Very interesting. We wish you the best of luck, David Hensley. Paul D says, good morning, Sensei. Everyone, I just got in. Thank you, Paul D. We had an interesting conversation last night on Substack, didn't we, on our private DMs. Remember, premium members can definitely message me. Do you have levels to relocate silver into gold, like 25% here and another 25%? Do you have levels to relocate? Do you mean reallocate silver into gold? I'm not looking to reallocate silver into gold. I'm looking to take silver into cash and then put it into the markets. So not really. Human Being Liz says, drive safe, David. I hope the streets are free now. Yes. A River Dear Chi says, I bought silver at £15, as did we. Good, congratulations to you. David Hensley says, thank you for all the good vibes you guys are sending me. I can feel it and appreciate the hell out of it. Oh, thanks you guys. Yeah, David Hensley, take that energy, take our prayers, take the good luck from the Lucasades, and take it with you. We wish you the best of luck this week. Human Binglers says, great arriver. Please all hit the like button for Sensei's Insight Report. Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Human Binglers. If everyone wants to get the email, please do hit the like button on the email itself or on the app. And then you can always leave a comment as well. I see people restack it as well. That's very cool. Yolanda does it every morning. Thank you. George Otte says, I'm on USAS, American Gold and Silver, and it doesn't have a big swing. I like it. Thank you. Let's have a quick look at you. Let's see how these gold miners are doing. USAS. Wow. I remember talking about gold miners a year ago as well. Wow, look at this. Absolutely incredible. Where were we? Yeah, it's done better than gold and silver themselves. Market cap is very low, 2 billion. So it's not the biggest company out there. But yeah, congratulations to you on this position. Absolutely incredible. Again, probably not something I'll be looking at after such a big swing towards the upside, entering levels of resistance. But I wish you all the best of luck on that. The Jets say Ray says, Sensei, do you think silver will be allowed to run up to $150 in a week's time? When it jumped to $10 Monday, I think Shanghai slammed it right back down. Just curious if it will be allowed. Look, it has to be allowed because the thing about silver is there's a physical market for it as well. It's not something you can just halt. The physical market will determine the price. And yes, there'll be discrepancies. China's trading higher than the rest of the world because they've stopped exports. But you can't really hide when we're talking about physical gold and silver because there is physical gold and silver. It's not just money in space. Yes, there is all those paper contracts, but that's why silver's going up. So I think it has to happen because there is a physical market for it. I'm sure they'll try and suppress it on the paper markets and on the futures, but that's a good thing, and that's why I've always gone for physical. Turiti says, yes, everything's going to come down again. The Patrick Black says, good morning. Yeston says, hello. Who says, congratulations. Yeston says, yes, sending some away. Yeston has made profit on the silver and he's cashing in on it. Congratulations to you. I've answered that question. Thank you for the super chat. Yolanda says, congratulations, Justin. Human Being Liz says, I bought more and dumped, waiting to come back. I bought more and dumped. What are you talking about, Liz? What did he buy more and dumped it? Waiting for it to come back like usual. What do you mean? What did he buy? I'm just getting a message in. Sorry, I was just checking our message from the team. Vocal Foster says, oh no, Trump will be speaking at 8:30 Eastern time. Here we go again. Yes, the big speech coming today. Guys, I don't know right now. The state of the market's not looking brilliant. Again, we'll be researching it more, but I am bullish on 2026 as a whole. I am bullish on XRP. I do think we can get to $5. There is a very good potential we can get to $10. I am bullish on AI and the markets. However, that doesn't mean we're very early in 2026. That doesn't mean we can't have recession fears. That doesn't mean we can't have a downturn in the stock market. What we've got going on right now with gold and silver is unprecedented. It is outperforming the market. I think when gold and silver ultimately peak and pull back, I think not only will gold and silver pull back, I think the stock market will pull back, potentially a recession before we get a big recovery. So right now with the whole globalization move as well, or the deglobalization, Trump with tariffs, it looks like that's going to start heating up again. It looks like Greenland is still an issue. It looks like there could be a war brewing as well with the US intervening in Iran. There is a lot out there to be cautious of. And of course, don't forget about the Japan carry trade. All of this can happen in the first half of 2026. Potentially inflation heading back up in Japan and the US, causing potentially a recession or at least a pullback in the stock market before we have another run up. So I am very cautious of the market, but I also don't want to not be invested in the market. Not being invested in the market is not really an option for most people because you could end up waiting on the sidelines too long. So what's Trump going to say today? Maybe the market is looking a bit fragile and maybe the stocks will come down after Trump's speech. Again, no one can predict the future, but that's just the vibe I'm getting from the markets right now. Let me know, are you bullish or bearish right now for the first half of 2026? Do you invest in DMG? I don't even know what DMG is. DMG is a gold company, right? Let me go on to DMG. DMG, Dragon Mountain Gold Limited. Is that the one you're talking about? Probably not. No, I don't invest in it. DJ Haynes says, yes, newsletter came through at 12:23. Yes, it's always about 10 minutes before the show goes live. But what I want to make sure everyone does is make sure it goes to your primary inbox. Take out your spam, recategorize it if it's in a different category, and make sure it's in your main mailbox. Thoughts on Palladium? It's the whole look. Palladium is the same situation. I wouldn't. Gold and silver is always going to be my go-tos because gold is obviously the largest one. Silver's the second largest. They both get used more. Palladium, of course, is part of the whole precious metal scene. I am also bullish on Palladium. However, not as bullish as I would be on gold or silver. Yes, the percentage gains are probably more than gold, but I personally have more conviction in gold and silver. Teresa Young says, I do believe the reason is simple. Banks. Let me just check if that's all okay. That's great. Thank you. No worries. Yesin says, with new oil coming into US markets and Trump wanting to reduce energy costs, this will be beneficial for mining companies. With new oil coming to the US markets and Trump wanting to reduce energy costs, this could be beneficial for mining companies. Yes, it certainly could. But again, it will take time for that oil to come in if you're talking about Venezuela or other countries. And also that could reduce energy costs, but we need to take into account data centers as well, which will probably push up energy costs. So human being Liz says, I can't find those African stocks from your newsletter, but thanks for the info. I can't find those African stocks. What? I don't know what you mean here in England. South Africa, we've got oh, you mean in the South African news story? You're talking about the South African story? Yeah, a lot of them will be on different exchanges. That was a South Africa specific one. If you go to a deep dive, you should be able to find those stocks. It's and Tony says, good morning, everyone. Ascend Improvements Hub. Hey, Sensei, what mining companies in particular will be positioned to benefit from the repricing of precious metals? That will be coming out this week as a newsletter. Again, we've got a short deep dive here to introduce the idea. Then we'll be talking about that more as a premium service on the newsletter later this week. Good morning, everyone, says Ninja Cowboy Clay. Scott says, good morning, fam. And Yesin says, can do. Yesin says, can do. What's the time now? I think we've got time for this. Let's see if we can do this. Copy this. Let me send it to Yesin on Discord. I don't have my headphones, so this is going to be interesting. Yesin, where are you? There you are. I've sent you the link, Yesin. Yeah, go read it. Glamour Gold Jewelry, good morning. Have a safe investment. Checkout tips. Checkout tips? What do you mean? The Get Say Ray says, that's funny. Nobody wanted to talk about gold and silver a year ago. Now it's going bananas. The Get Say Ray, we've talked about. Don't worry, go back on the channel. We've talked about it for 4 years. The first thing I ever did on this channel 3 years ago was brought you a gold report at $1,200 an ounce. And then I talked about silver at $15, $20 an ounce. We've been talking about it for years. And then all throughout last year at every breakout zone, $30, $15, $2,200 on gold. We've covered it all. Don't worry. We've been covering it for a while. We're not just jumping on the bandwagon. Henrik says, good afternoon all. I'm glad I bought Red Wire yesterday. Stephen Johnson says silver $116 ounce here in Aussie at the moment. It always sounds better there, doesn't it? Because of the currency. Nonny says, morning, all high energy investments. Good morning, Sensei. Thoughts on HYMC? I don't have any thoughts on it right now. Send me a message in the newsletter and I can have a look into it. Zach says, crash or no crash, press the like button. Yolanda says, what's your thoughts on USAR? Is is this the one Martyn was talking about? I'm pretty sure it was USA. Oh, here we go. I don't have too many thoughts. Maybe Yeston will have some thoughts on this. We've just got our first time we've actually had a special guest on the Morning Forecast show. Let me bring Yeston into the show. Let me copy this over. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, let me welcome Yeston into the show. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeston, welcome into the show. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, doing well. Lovely to have you here on such a fine day with silver. I heard that you took some profits. Is that right?
Yeah, indeed. Sent some away there Monday morning. So kind of happy. It was weird.
What price did you get in again?
I bought my physical at in between £35 and 42. So
that's probably more like you've doubled your money essentially, I'd say.
Yeah, double my money in 4 months, so I don't think anyone could be too unpleased with that.
That's 7 years in the S&P 500.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let me just bring this up on the screen. Let me have something there. Are you looking at any? Are you interested in any of the mining companies now? Where are you looking to put your money now?
I'm just looking at putting into bonds at the moment more than anything else. I'll always buy a share or two of VSUA, which is the S&P 500 for the UK, every month. But you just don't know what this market. I think there's a lot more downturn than upturn over the next couple of months, but I could be wrong. That's why I'm still buying the S&P. But if I'm right, then I can buy a cheaper price. But
yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking this microphone. I've never had a different guest on the show apart from Martyn, so you're the first one. Yes, then how do you feel?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a privilege.
Of course.
I think for myself that if mining stocks if you start seeing mining stocks outperform too crazy, you may see silver coming down. People start just rotating money into mining stocks. That's where you may see silver and gold come down for a correction. But
I think so. I think so. We're going to start looking into mining companies, see if any of them, obviously most of them have gone up, but a lot of them were repriced, or analyst estimates were from previous earnings where gold and silver have gone up 30-40% since, or even more. So there is still some repricing to be done there. So we're going to see if there's any value. And of course, I agree with you. If silver, I say there can be a final parabolic run, but once that parabolic run's done, people will be wanting to still be invested in precious metals, and they'll be looking at probably mining companies. So we're going to see if we can catch that rotation. There'll be a deep dive on it later this week on the newsletter and see what we can do. But yeah, bonds is something else that we're going to be researching and seeing what the best ones are here in the UK, because the portfolio will probably most likely be in bonds, because it's a very weird market right now. Gold, silver going to all-time highs, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of geopolitical issues, government shutdowns, tariffs, Greenland, wars, Japan carry trade. All of this is suggesting that how long can we ignore all of these issues before we get a correction? And I'd like to take advantage of a big crash like we did on Liberation Day. Is that why you're also in bonds?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm looking at, there's a reason why banks are buying so much gold and why it's moving up so much. That's why I'm looking at also. But I totally agree with you.
All driven by central banks, and all of these places are buying gold and silver. Well, is there? So most of your portfolio is now in bonds. Is that correct?
Yeah, mainly in bonds now. I've sold, so it's about 20% silver, which I've kind of reduced that down to 4 or 5%. But I'm about 60% now in bonds. Got a very small position in BM&R, but yeah.
I think
But
everyone wants to know how's your whiskey doing.
I actually, funny enough, I actually sold some during just before Christmas. Yeah, and they're another good gain from there. I think I bought sold bottles I bought for about 800-900 quid and sold them for 1,700. And thankfully,
That's
UK no
another.
capital
That's
gains
another
tax.
double. That's another 7 years on the S&P 500.
Yeah.
I
So
love it. Yeah, bonds. What? So, what do you know specifically? What bonds you invest in? Are they company bonds
uh,
or government bonds, or what are they?
so I'm in SSHY, which is a corporate bond. So it's about 7-8% yield, and then ERNS, which is kind of government bonds that are spread throughout the world. So that's more of a,
Mm.
I think it's
All
more
on
3
Trading
4.
212, or are you using a different platform?
No, trading 212.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, we'll be doing a research report on bonds as well, and then putting most of that portfolio that we're starting with in bonds until opportunity presents itself even more. Yes, and it's been lovely to have you on the show. Is there any final thoughts you have?
What are you doing yourself?
What do you mean?
Apart from your research, is there any? Are you going to go start going into bonds a lot more in your main portfolio, or is it just in your kind of 5,000 challenge?
Well, it's interesting because the 5,000 challenge is sort of a fun challenge or whatever, but it's not designed to be. It's designed to be high risk, high reward, but that's sort of what my main portfolio is anyway. My personal portfolio behind the scenes is very much high risk, high reward. Yes, I've got the ultra safe in my view, which is obviously not ultra safe, but the S&P 500 and global ETFs, which I still wouldn't say are ultra safe because you want to be even more diversified than that. I've got that as a portfolio. I've got my main behind the scenes portfolio as a pretty high risk, high reward portfolio, which this will essentially be probably mirroring. So yeah, we will probably be starting, even though it's a high risk, high reward. I want to catch those gains, so we'll be probably starting um, right now with bonds, maybe some mining companies that will benefit from the rotation. And then we'll be looking at stocks that are undervalued anyway. So I might start doing those research pieces and buying, let's say I look into crypto mining in ETFs as well. Um, uh, See which one's got the best balance sheet, do the research, buy it as a market share or buy a little bit, and then have those key levels to buy on the way down. So it doesn't mean I won't be buying. It means I'll probably mostly be in bonds, identifying which stocks I want to be in, and then if a crash comes and when a crash comes, then I can buy more at those key levels that we identify through the chart. So right now, mostly bonds. Um, some portfolios are in just long-term ETFs. But yeah, the portfolio challenge of the 5,000 will essentially mirror my own investment thesis of high risk, high reward, because I've got a high capacity for loss, because I've got a high risk tolerance and I'm young. I can afford a portfolio like this. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at it.
Lovely.
Brilliant, Justin. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'd love to have you as a guest again in the future. But yeah, I wish you all the best. Congratulations with your silver trade. That's a big one.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day, people.
Thank you
You
very
take
much,
care.
Yestin. Cheers. That was Yestin, one of our long-term members. He made a 100% gain on silver, even though he wasn't maybe the earliest to the silver trade. That shows you what conviction does. That even if you're late, even if the trade has started, there is still opportunity out there. And if you have conviction and you understand the thesis, you can still make money on trades on these trades. So lovely guest there, Yestin, and he has an interesting whiskey collection as well, which has been making him money as well. So there's a bull market everywhere, guys. You can make money all over the shop, as long as you know what you're doing. Let me go through the last comments, and we want to see if Martyn's show is set up. I don't want to end. Let me just check this one. Good morning, everyone. Let me go through some more of the live chat and see what everyone else is saying. Where were we on the live chat? With new oil companies coming into the US market and Trump wanting to reduce energy costs, this would be beneficial for mining companies. That was the essence comment. Yes, we covered that. Where were we? Can do. There we go. Yes, go. If he read it, Glamour Gold Jewelry says that we've read that as well. Here we were. No, we've read that as well. Urban Firewood says, Sensei, do you feel bullish for $5 this year for XRP or in the next couple of years? Yeah, I do. Look, I think we could have a major correction, but that next run up, as Brad Garden House says, he is expecting new all-time highs. I'm expecting new all-time highs. It can be very possible. If it's not this year, it could be very much next year. So I'm bullish for $5 certainly in the next couple of years. James WP says, just joined the newsletter. How do I join your 5? Oh, you've just joined the newsletter. That's incredible. Let me just double check that. Let me see if that is the case. Thank you very much for joining. Anyone else who hasn't joined yet, it is essentially the last day. You can do it. It is, oh God, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go over here before I accidentally do something I shouldn't. If anyone else wants to join, it's 60% off. It's essentially the last day. There it is. Just join your newsletter. How do I join your 5K challenge and see your trades? I'd like to. No, James, please don't mirror my trades. That's not the goal here. I don't want anyone mirroring the trades. I'm here to give you research and then you can make your own decisions. Don't just blindly mirror my trades because everyone's situation is different. I'm doing what's right for me and everyone's asked me to show them what my research process is. So that's what I'm doing. So I don't want you to mirror my trades. But how do I see the 5K challenge? You don't need to join the 5K challenge. If you join the newsletter, you would have got a welcome email now. Just reply to that welcome email. Make sure that welcome email is not in your spam or in any other inbox. Move it to your primary inbox. You'll get an email every time I do research reports and I identify stocks. If it's a smaller buy, for example, Amazon's dropped 10% and I just want to buy it, it doesn't really need a research report because obviously it's a Mag 7 company and it doesn't really require a hell of a lot of research. It's more those low market cap or those certain stocks that we're trying to identify that need the research report. So there's two ways. One is the newsletter that will come out. You will get your first one on Thursday in regards to 5K challenge, the framework. Then the next day you'll probably get one on mining companies, and then you'll get the monthly update plus any other reports we do. You'll get it as newsletters. If you download the Substack app now, Substack is where we host the newsletter. If you download that now, you can go into the live chat or the chat there, and I'll be posting maybe the smaller buys there. So you'll get the main ones in the newsletter, the smaller ones within the live chat. So that's where you'll see it. It's not active yet. It will be starting the day after FOMC, which is in 2 days. How do you feel about? Oh, we've got the link here. Let me just make sure that is there. That'll be starting shortly. How do you feel about XCN pump and dump? Well, no, it's just crypto. Altcoins, there's no liquidity. And that's what we've been saying. That's why I don't buy every 20% dip. That's why I've not been interested in altcoins for a while now. That's why about 6 months ago when we started saying the bear market's more likely, I'm only focusing on the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, potentially as the only ones I'm interested in accumulating. The altcoins I buy every 50% dip because we're in such a low liquidity sort of a bear market scenario for these altcoins. So I wouldn't call it pump and dump. It is essentially even good coins, potentially XCN is a good coin. It will look like a pump and dump because of the level of liquidity is very, very low. So how do I feel about it? Well, I feel I'm not surprised. It is a low market cap altcoin that is going through a bear market. This is as expected. Better max memories. Copper will rise into reaction in the new stage of data centers, EVs. Yeah, copper is great as well. I would rather buy copper mining companies than copper itself. However, better max memory says XCN. Don't pump and dump. It's a real world utility. Vocal Foster says, will consumer confidence number 90 expected at 10 a.m. Eastern impact the market today with everyone focusing on FOMC? It will probably have a small impact. It's not a high impact story. Humbing Liz says, way to go. Clap Clap says human being Liz. Good morning. Stephen Lewandowski. Diesel Raider says FCX is good copper and gold mining. Thank you, Diesel Raider. Human being Les, Steve and Diesel, good morning. Chris F says, what are your thoughts on USAR? I haven't looked at it enough to give you my own thoughts. I'm sure Martyn will be covering that. Good morning. Or Human being List says, I might need 2122. Which bonds will be best in Germany? I don't know if trading 212 is available in Germany, but most of the bonds will be. Yeah, we'll be researching bonds as well. Diesel Raider, not sure, but Martyn likes SGov. Stu says, I've been buying forced majestic silver stock on Robinhood and force physical silver too. Have noticed Coinbase have started the prediction market. Have they? Obviously not in the UK because our laws are much stricter, but that's interesting. Diesel Raider says, can you comment on, yeah, look, I don't have too many thoughts on that. I've never really found a good entry price, and I don't really think the utility is amazing on WLFI. We covered the launch and that was about it. It's not really something I'm interested in, especially in a low liquidity bear market for the altcoins we're in right now. Human being Liz says, Diesel, this is just Tin USA. We can't buy SGov here. I was doing weeks ago research for Germany, but I figured out if you have much more money in the park, it's much more money to park in that it's worth. I think that's when I stopped. Human being Liz says, but I was curious if anyone knows about Germany. There's a lot of bonds, Human being Liz, so I think the research will still apply to you whether you're in Germany or the US. There's a lot of bonds that are just global bonds, like Yasin was saying, and there's bonds that are company bonds, which is sort of accessible to everyone. So keep an eye out for that research on bonds. I'm sure it will be applicable to Germany as well. YouTuber Star says, hi, Sensei, what are your thoughts on XCN? Is it dead? Why is everyone talking about XCN? Is it down a lot today or something? XCN USD. No, it's not down a lot. No, I don't think it's dead. It's just, as expected, a bear market for the altcoins. This is exactly what we talked about a few months ago. Are you invested in precious metals? Yes, I'm invested. 50% of you are. Let me just check this. Is Martyn live? Yeah. Good morning, everyone, says William Myers. Diesel Raiders. Oh, yeah, sorry, this is the poll. Are you invested in precious metals? 50% are in, 50% missed it. Well, let's hope you don't miss the next one. William Myers says, good morning, everyone, and congratulations to everyone who was in the precious metals. I mean, it takes a lot of conviction. It's a boring topic, but it's outperformed literally everything. So congratulations to anyone who is in the precious metal market or who has taken profit from the precious metal market. William Myers says, good morning, everyone. Diesel says, hello. Franken Muff says, good morning, Lucas Aids. Songs of Space says, I was up 200% on XTN, now I'm up 30%. Melvin Ewer says, is HBAR worth investing? Say, will it grow as fast as XRP? It's a lower market cap than XRP. If XRP goes up, HBAR will probably go up, maybe even more than XRP. I wouldn't bet my house on HBAR, and I wouldn't bet my house on crypto. However, with the altcoins, as I said, my strategy is I'll be looking at levels for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, probably mainly XRP to buy in, maybe every 20% or at specific zones. For the broader altcoin market, maybe the top 100 outside the top 4, I'll be looking at 50% crashes. So do I still believe in HBAR? Yes, I do, but I'm not going to buy every 20% dip. I'm not going to buy every 5% dip. I'll probably buy every 50% dip. It's not a large part of my portfolio. So, and I'll also buy if I think an altcoin season is coming, like November of 2024 when we identified that. So yes, I think HBAR is still great. No, I don't think it's no, I'm not putting my whole portfolio in it. I am prepared for further downside on HBAR, but I am still bullish on HBAR. Newmont is a big gold company. Thank you, Rallo1. Songs of Space. Need the next dip to show up for stocks ready to deploy. Yes. Diesel Raider says, Sensei, you're a good man. Thank you for your hard work and honesty. Thank you, Diesel Raider. Really appreciate it. Silver go to $200. No, silver can go to 20,000. Okay, that's absolutely ridiculous. People with that sort of mindset are the ones that are going to be buying the top of silver. 1978, Buckley says, good morning. Derek Burke says, Magna Mining. Clayton says, hola, buenos dias, Sensei from Peru. Thank you very much, Clayton. Hello from the UK. New Wave says, good morning. What do you think about HYMC? Not many thoughts. Miss Zia is here. Miss Sia, that is hair braid. No, what was it? I forgot your name. Your previous name, Miss Sia. A long time supporter of the show. Hair. Oh God, I forgot your name. The Queen of Self Braiding. The Queen of Self Braiding is here. Lovely to have you here, the Queen of Self Braiding. I hope everyone's well. I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. Lovely to have you in the show. Okay, so what we're going to do now is finish the show. Martyn will be live in a couple minutes' time for his morning show. The Queen, yes, the Queen of Self Braiding. Don't worry, I remember. Took me a second. So let's end the show. Guys, last chance. Today, I think tomorrow is going to be the last day of the 60% off. There's only 5 spots available today. Glad to see you, Sensei. Lovely to have you here, Queen of Self Braiding. 60% off the newsletter. Go and check it out. You get all the perks of here, the daily newsletter, the daily charts, one-on-one access with me in the DMs. You get the community access. You get the portfolio challenge kicking off Thursday. So essentially your last chance there. You've got the training course coming out in the next couple of weeks and the debt planner and budget planner. You've got the zero ads, daily charts, daily newsletter. What else do you get? I mean, you get the deep dives, everything. So go and check it out. Last chance there. You're doing a fine job, Sensei. Thank you, Clayton. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay where you are. The link is pinned to the top for Martyn's next show. It will take you there. Martyn will be live in the next couple of minutes. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves. Oh, look at that.
The year is 1991. Birds
5 memberships are given away. Guys, make sure you hit the like button.
This is Phoenix.
5 memberships from 1978 Buckley. Please thank her if you want a membership. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you interact. And if you win one, please thank 1978 Buckley. What a way to end the show. Thank you very much. Absolutely incredible. Members all around. I cannot believe it. Let's play Phoenix. Guys, where's the hype in the chat? Why is there no one commenting in the chat? Is everyone asleep again? Can we get some hype in the chat for all the new members? All the new members, please thank 1978 Buckley. I'll answer your question in a second, Stu. Let's blow up the chat for the new members. Always great when we can play the Phoenix song. It is the national anthem of the Lucasades. We love it. Thank you, 1978 Buckley, for bringing a bit of joy and music to our morning and for giving away those memberships. Congratulations to anyone who won those memberships. Please do thank 1978 Buckley and consider upgrading to Electrum, as it's essentially giving you a discount on that. Human Being Liz says, Bo, thank you, Sensei. Good day. Nice music. Thank you, Sensei. Do you think digital silver is a good way to buy and sell? Oh, there we go. That's Martyn is now live. We'll go over there now. It's backed by one. Digital silver is fine, especially for smaller trades. Yes. For shorter term trades. Physical silver is more if you don't trust the system or if you're long term investing or all the other benefits. We've done a few newsletters on the differences, but yeah, it's fine. However, especially with a short squeeze territory, they might not let you trade it. But apart from that, it should be fine. I don't give financial advice anyway, so I've given you the pros and cons of each before. We have to end the show, otherwise I'll spend a bit longer on that. Missy says, Dear members, I've been away for a while. Hope to interact with our new members. I've been one of the founders of the show. I think you mean the founding members of the show. Yes, the Queen of Self-Grading was here at the very beginning. One of our founding members. Yolanda says, Phoenix. Robert is here. They don't realize Liz is. Frank Muff says, I'm just vibing to a song over here with my coffee. Yes, my coffee is very cold and I just had it. And that's why I pulled a face, if you noticed. Zax8 is giving some hype. Yolanda's giving some hype. 1978 Buckley, thank you. Clayton, now Sensor, we're ready for some... Thank you, Clayton. Human Being Liz, the next dance song. Song space flying close to the sun on precious metals. Buy now, might not get money for 30 years. Potentially it goes high and you can make a big profit. Who knows? I've given my thoughts and opinions. We will continue to analyze it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Martyn is now live right now. The link is pinned. It will automatically take you there as well. But as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Take advantage of the 60% offer as it ends tomorrow. And it's the first 5 people today. And tomorrow it will definitely sell out because of the FOMC. So take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.